the 3 decades, Ann Rulton played a pivotal role in the growth and development of the women's game. She never kicked a ball or coached a team, but is revered by so many in the football community for the time she's given to our great game. Ann was a long-serving committee member for the old Victorian Women's Football League and spent countless hours working behind the scenes to grow and develop the league. Ann did so much for the league and the greater football community, but the St Kilda Sharks was always home. She was there for our very first season in 1992 and our last in 2021. She was our longest serving committee member and held many off-field roles at the club, often doing the jobs that few others wanted to do. She was a constant at every game and every function, and she touched the lives of so many of our players, coaches and members. She'll be missed dearly, and her contribution to the game will never be forgotten.
Look at the stars, look how they shine for you, and everything you do. Yeah, they were all yellow. I came along, I wrote a song for you, and all the things you do. And it was called Yellow. So then I took my turn. Oh, what a thing to have done. And it was all yellow. Your skin, oh yeah, your skin and bones turn into something beautiful. And you know I love you so. You know I love you so.
I wondered for a long time why it took Anne so long to learn people's names, but then I think I figured it out, and I actually think she knew everyone's names all along, but what she was doing is just testing out how invested they were going to be in the Sharks before she invested in them, because that's what she was like. If she was going to throw herself into something, she threw herself with her whole heart and her whole being, and I absolutely love that. And I was just grateful that after 15 years, she finally learned that my name was in fact not Keryn, and it was Keryn.
When I first met Ann, it became very obvious that she was an absolute crusader for women's footy, and her motives were completely altruistic. Ann was my team manager for 3 years whilst coaching at the Sharks, and she completely took the pressure off me and everyone involved on game day with her warrior-like skills at collecting money. We loved picking her up on the way to some away games with so many great chats over hot chocolate. Her legacy will live on, and I am so grateful to have met her and been involved with her at the Sharks with some amazing life lessons in her.
I remember my first memory of Annie, and it was when I first joined the Sharks, and she kept saying to me, "Oi, who are you?" And I said, "Annie, I'm not paying my fees until you learn what my name is." And that began many negotiations, but a very dear friendship. We bickered a hell of a lot, but geez, we had a lot of fun bickering, and there was a lot of laughter. She's a very dear friend, and whilst she's not here with us anymore, every time I think of her, I'll smile. And I'll think about how many times she told me.
Ann Rulton definitely was one of a kind. It's quite incredible, really. She used to document so much of our club history and our league's history, and she knew everything. She knew how many goals people had kicked, how many games they'd played, and I'd often get messages or calls from her. "Now Maxie, so-and-so's playing game 100. Do you want me to go to Officeworks and print the letters for the banner?" It was just a little thing she did that just made her such an incredible club person. There was nothing that she wasn't willing to do. And at events, she'd always be looking for a job to do. And to be honest, there was only one job that we ever wanted to give Ann Rulton, and that was sit by the door and take everyone's money, because nobody got money out of people better than Ann Rulton did.
One of my earliest memories of Ann Rulton was the year she was the state team manager. It was my first year of playing state football, and I was just this young 20-year-old running around. Well, Ann's come to me and said, "Guess what, Blouse? I've organised your number 18. My first thought was, oh my God, Ann, what have you done? You've taken number 18 from the biggest player in the team. She's not that friendly. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get bashed for this. And she just said, well, if she doesn't like it, you just tell her that I said she can go and get stuffed.
I turn the music up, I got my records on. I shut the world outside until the lights come on. Maybe the streets are alive, maybe the trees are gone. I feel my heart stop beating to my favorite song. And all the kids they dance, all the kids all night until Monday morning feels another life. I turn the music up, I'm on the other side. The hammer is inside.
I have so many wonderful memories of Ann Rulton, from VWFL meetings to VWFL presentation nights, being a player and a coach at St Kilda Sharks. Ann had this amazing knack for being so supportive and encouraging in everything that I know I did, and I'm sure that other people did. I'm definitely going to miss Ann. Miss chatting to her on the phone and having a good catch up, but I hope that she's proud of what's happening right now and watching over us, and I just want to thank her for everything that she's done for me and also to our game. Thanks, Annie.
What can you say? I met her nearly 30 years ago down in the club, and done a lot of whole race for the club, especially when I was president and coaching, done the team managing, treasurer, and she was great for the club. We'll miss you. Go Sharks.
Ann was so proud when the AFLW competition started, particularly of her Sharks girls who got drafted to AFLW clubs. This season she was still coming down and watching some of my games down in Geelong. And every time you'd run into her, she'd be like, oh, how well's Bree going? How well's Britt going? And she was just so proud of all of us. But it was always funny when you bring up the AFL, she'd always be like, they think they started AFLW and women's footy, but we started women's footy.